That we want to introduce you to David Engelhardt. He's a pastor and friend of Charlie Kirk, and David joins us now in Washington, D.C. I do believe you are, or wherever you are today, David. Our condolences to you and the loss of a person who meant a lot to you. How do you
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Dana, for having me.
Yeah, how do you reflect on his life? What should America know?
Yeah, first I just want to say that we are heavy in our heart is the loss of Charlie, and we're praying for Erica and his children and his family and the TPUSA family and staff who have lost not just a boss, but they've lost a hero, and heroes are hard to come by. We don't have many heroes these days. And Charlie was a hero. He was courageous. He was a sacrificer. He was a leader, and he stood for truth. And you know, G.K. Chesterton said of tyrannies, tyrants want to control everything, including the truth. And so one day they will attempt to hang a man for maddening a mob with the news that the grass is green. And Charlie was doing that. He was saying, boys can't be girls and girls can't be boys, and we have to have truth and order, and then take God's morality and establish it upon that truth and order, because if you don't have truth first, then where do you put that moral order? And Charlie was vehemently opposed and tragically assassinated because he stood for truth, and then placed God's worldview, God's order atop that truth. And people found freedom and life, and young people were wanting to have families again and engage in the political process and believing that there's a future and a hope for this nation, which we do believe for.
He relied heavily on his faith and was willing and courageous to talk about it. Listen to a little bit of that here.
If you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith.
And I'm sure you saw that personally, David?
Yeah, Charlie was a man of incredible strength. His name, Charlie Kirk, means strong church. And I always told him, Charlie, you strengthen churches all over the country. I remember when I first met Charlie, I was in the middle of 2020 madness, and he was the one who challenged me to open our church. That was the first church in New York that opened under the COVID crisis. And he encouraged pastors all over the country to stand for truth and freedom and the truth of Jesus Christ. He wasn't shy about his faith. He wasn't avoidant, afraid that it would offend people. That's why he's a hero, because he was courageous, and he wasn't brash about his faith. He wasn't demeaning to other people about their position, but he was a strong man of faith. I remember when I first met him, he was, he's 27 or so and running this huge organization. And I'm like, Charlie, if you don't start taking a Sabbath, you're going to burn out. And I think the very next week he started taking a Sabbath and has taken a Sabbath, had taken a Sabbath from that date to now. And it re-energized his life, allowed him to have the ability to see well, and energy and strength and time with family, time with Erica and his kids. And so Charlie was a disciple, not just in word, but also in deed. And that's why he's such an important figure. And that's why he's such an important hero, because he wasn't just nominally a Christian, which we see so often in the political world, where people say, oh yeah, I believe in God, or God bless America, that he actually had acts that married his belief. And that is what produced, I think, in part, such a beautiful fruit of Turning Point USA and the hundreds of thousands of young people that have been so deeply impacted by him.
What a legacy. David, thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for coming on. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.